Today I messed up by watching football at Thanksgiving dinner. My wife had family over for an early Thanksgiving last week since a few of us were going to be out of town on actual Thanksgiving. I want to start by saying I am a diehard football fan and I am very invested in my fantasy football team as well. My wife decided the perfect time to host the Thanksgiving was going to be on a Sunday at 1 p.m., right in the middle of the first few games on TV. I was a little upset that I was going to miss essentially the second half to all of those games. I wanted to try to get around not being able to watch the games, so I decided to bring my phone and hide an AirPod in my ear. I wanted to do the right thing by joining them, but also wanted to see if any of my players were going to score, so I held my phone on my lap for the dinner. During grace, my religious mother-in-law was giving an incredibly long prayer and the battery on my AirPod died, causing the sound to then come through my phone. I didn't have the volume cranked up, but it still disrupted the prayer. I apologized and said that I would turn the game down. My wife insisted that I wait to watch the games later, but I needed to know if any of my players were going to score any touchdowns. It's been a week, and my wife is still beyond pissed for embarrassing her. My mother-in-law isn't talking to me right now, and everyone thinks what I did was wrong. I have come to the conclusion that I should make use of the fact that I can record the games and just watch them when dinner is over. Hope everyone else had a better Thanksgiving. Today I messed up by looking at my boyfriend's phone. He was showing me a conversation from his best friend and I read something that I shouldn't have. Lately my boyfriend and I have been talking about engagement. He told me that he was going to propose in 2024, between February and July. We looked at rings together. I gave him many different options and told him what I liked and didn't like. He said I wasn't allowed to look at certain conversations because of what he was saying to them about the engagement. He wants a bunch of it to be a surprise. Well, yesterday we were talking about friend 2 and he was talking to friend 2 about friend 1. He was showing me the conversation and I kept reading. He told me to just keep reading, and I read that he was talking about the engagement to friend 2, since friend 1 was engaged. I read the month he was going to propose and I panicked. He realized what I read and he panicked as well. He grabbed the phone from me and immediately walked away, very mad at himself. I kept saying I'm sorry over and over again. He said that it wasn't my fault, but I just kept reading and not realizing what I had done. I told him later that day that I was not allowed to go on his phone until he has proposed, and now he has to go to everyone again and change the date. Today I messed up by letting my GF hit my balls. So I am 28, just moved in with my girlfriend, F32. So far things have been going well and I have no complaints. The best part about living together has been the sex, which has been more frequent than I imagined. The other day she was giving me a hand job, something that has never really done it for me, but she said she saw something online and asked if she could try it. She got some lube and went away with the hand job, but then she surprised me with some light slaps to the balls, just 3 taps and I fucking busted all over myself. I was shocked. It had to have been a fluke. We tried this 3 more times and like clockwork, when she hit me with those ball taps I busted like there was no tomorrow. Normally I am pretty good at lasting long, but with this I can barely make it past 20 seconds. My GF has been enjoying this new discovery a lot. Sometimes when we're in the kitchen she would do a light tap thought my pants and I would be hard for several minutes. I had no idea I was even into this. This has kinda slightly changed the dynamic of the relationship. I feel like my GF is more confident and I find myself a bit more timid in bed. Is this just in my head? How come I am coming so quickly from this? Is this normal? Is it even a fuck up, haha? She has some friends coming over this weekend and asked if she could tell them about our discovery. I wasn't too sure about it, so wanted your thoughts on if I was being dramatic or not. TIFU by making fun of my girlfriend's O face. Today, while we were talking about women faking O's, I had a brilliant idea to make a joke about my very own life. You see, I thought hilariously to tell my girlfriend I never have to worry about you faking it. When my girlfriend inquired into the reasoning for my statement I then replied because who would ever fake those faces on themselves? It gets worse guys because I then imitated her faces to her then and there. Picture the face of someone who had just been holding a giant poop in for a 10-hour plane ride and then the 40-minute car ride to get to their own glorious porcelain throne just to explode with discomfort and bliss while expunging your bowels. The faces she makes are kinda like that. But it gets even worse because after I made the faces I proceeded to describe the faces as I did above. I told her faces are like someone pooping. She got real mad. Not like at me but she was mad. It blew over pretty quickly as I apologized and told her it's not a bad thing, it's just a funny quirk she has and I enjoy it because I can tell when I'm doing a good job. But she didn't make those faces this morning so I really messed up. I messed with her mind guys. I'm waiting to talk to her after work but man I hope I didn't do any long-term psychological damage from a poop joke. Today I messed up by seeing an escort to lose my virginity. I'm 18M. Had been fantasizing about using a escort so I could finally get laid. I had a 3-hour window today of no one home. I live with my mom and she would kick my ass if she caught me. I found an average-looking, big-titty, ass, woman on a website with a decent price of $100 that lived in a better area of town. So I used Uber to get there. Had a BJ, then fucked with a condom. Mind you, I'm a virgin, so putting on a condom was new. I did have a general idea of how. Point tip face up, then roll down shaft. Asked her if it looked okay, she said yes. The moment I entered was so anticlimactic. I was expecting heaven when I entered, but it just felt exactly like my $20 pocket pussy from Amazon. It honestly didn't even feel that good, but I just went with the flow. We did missionary, doggy, and cowgirl. Then back to missionary. As I was pulling out to take a breather, I noticed there was no condom on my dick. She, now standing up, pulls it out of her vagina. Kind of laughs it off and says, "How did that happen?" We then do BJ as that was her last condom. For like 20 minutes and I couldn't finish for the life of me. I say it's all good and end it. Now I'm scared shitless that I had a STD/STI. What do I do?